Relationships fall apart all the time for various reasons. Cheating, jealousy, distance, or sometimes it just isn't a match. Sometimes things are beyond our control. Sometimes the timing just isn't right. Sometimes we just can't make it work because there is too much fundamental incompatibility. But other times, it is under our control. We can choose how we show up in our relationships. And this makes a difference in whether it thrives or implodes. Hello everyone, welcome to a place to get better. Let's look at the most common ways people destroy their relationships and how to avoid them. Number 1. You don't communicate. Communication is the key to a healthy relationships. We all heard this one before, but how many of us make it a priority to truly connect with our partner? In this day and age of digital devices, it's just so easy to get lost in that and real life relationships take a back seat. Next time you go out, look around, and how many couples or groups of friends are sitting together and all just looking at their phones. It's easy to get lost in the shuffle and the grind of everyday life, but you have to make it a priority to actually talk to each other. Number 2. Lack of empathy. This is a tough one because it's very easy to get caught up in our own experience of the relationship. It's easy to feel like we're the victim and it's unfair and we're right and he's wrong and we're doing everything in this relationship and getting nothing back. I know it can feel that way in the heat of the moment, but it's important to step back and look at your partner with more empathetic eyes. I'm not saying your heart isn't valid, but it won't get you anywhere to blame him fully. He'll just get defensive and the conversation won't go anywhere. And it goes without saying your partner should also activate his empathy and try to see things from your perspective. When you can't see his perspective, then it doesn't feel hard, and when this will cause a breakdown in communication, which will create distance between you, and the more distance there is, the less intimacy there is. Number 3. Too much criticism. Why do we do this? We hate being criticized by sometimes just can't help but do it to our partners. It doesn't motivate him to change and instead makes him resentful and annoyed and even less likely to do what you want. It also creates a parent or child dynamic where you're his mother scolding him and there is nothing less sexy than that. If you are overly critical, then look deeper into where that comes from. Usually, the thing we're most critical about in others is what we are most critical about in ourselves. Take a look at what's really bothering you. Maybe you're criticizing him for the way we hold it, the laundry, but really, you just feel out of control in your life. Like nothing is quite right. Maybe you don't feel hurt. Maybe you feel resentment toward him for not meeting certain needs and it manifests as criticism. And yes, sometimes we had valid critiques and it's fine to bring issues up. Just make sure you're doing it in a respectful, compassionate way. Number 4. Being deceptive. There is never a good reason to be sneaky in your relationship. If you feel this need, ask yourself why. Do you think your partner will get angry? Are you trying to represent yourself in a certain light and you're afraid your real self won't be good enough? Trust is everything. Number 5. No respect. Dr. John Gottman, the guy famous for being able to predict whether a couple will divorce with 90% accuracy, cites contempt as one of the leading factors of whether a relationship will fall apart. And one of the greatest indicators of that in his research is eye rolling. Contempt conveys, I'm better than you, I don't respect you, and I'm just going to roll my eyes at everything you say because I find it so stupid. Mocking your partners and being sarcastic and not in a playful way are also signs of contempt. Contempt can be the result of resentment that went unchecked for way too long. Resentment is poison for a relationship. Once it creeps in, it festers, and soon enough you can't find any positive qualities about your partner anymore. If you can't respect him, you need to ask yourself why. Do you really think he is just an idiot? If so, why are you with him? Are you just trying to protect yourself and self-sabotaging? Or are you angry over things that happened with him in the past that you never addressed? Number 6. Being too sensitive and insecure. We're not saying never get upset when your partner says or does something hurtful, but it's important to step back sometimes and look at where that hurt is really coming from. We have all sorts of spots, they all have old wounds that's never fully healed, and sometimes someone can say something innocent, but it just presses on that raw space and we have an extreme reaction. A lot of the time, those are our own insecurities. It's how we already felt about ourselves, but we blame our partner for making us feel a certain way. Your insecurities can really ruin a relationship if you let them run rampant, so just check yourself and see where your feelings are truly coming from. Number 7. Setting him up to fail. Don't expect him to read your mind and know what you want and how you want it. If you want a happy relationship, set your partner up to win. Just be direct. Don't drop hints and then get angry when he doesn't pick up on them. If you want him to plan something special for your anniversary, just tell him that. Yes, I know it would be more romantic if he could just intuit exactly what it is he wants, but he can't. So, just tell him instead of getting upset on the day off. If you give him directions on how to make you happy, he will, as long as it's done in a kind way, not a shaming way. Number 8. Expecting your partner to fill a void. Another person cannot repair what's broken inside you. It might feel like you'll be all whole, all healed from your past trauma once you find someone who loves you enough. But there is no such thing as enough when you have that void, because it can never be filled by someone else. If you outsource the task of being whole to your partner, then you will be never satisfied and you will resent him for not giving you this thing, when really only you can give it to yourself. Love won't heal you and it won't erase your past pains and trauma. Conversely, love will bring up all that is involved within you. Whatever it is you haven't dealt with will keep coming up again and again. Number 9. Having an agenda. That is a mistake that usually kills a budding relationship but can also harm an established one. Having an agenda means you want to push the relationship in a certain direction in order to feel good about yourself. If you're in the early phase of dating, you may feel this overwhelming need to become official, and you measure all of our interactions in terms of whether they're taking you closer to or further from that goal. It's not just about wanting the relationship because you really like this other person and want to create a meaningful partnership. It's about what it will mean to you and about you. You attach a certain meaning on having this thing. It will mean you're worthy, you're okay, you won't end up alone, etc. Number 10. Avoiding confrontation. Happy couples aren't couples who ever fight. They just don't fight dirty. Arguments can actually be healthy and are the chance to grow as a couple, but only if you use them to reach a resolution. If you're having problems, nothing will change if you ignore it. Rather, you'll end up becoming bitter and resentful, and this will poison your relationship. Avoiding confrontation can also cause you to act passive-aggressive, and this never takes things in a positive direction. The way to prevent most of these destructive behaviors is to just have self-awareness. Look at what you're bringing to the interaction because you are the only person that you have full control over, and if they are helping or harming the state of your relationship. Do you want to add a new point? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like and share it with your friends. To see more videos, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications.